I believe that might be too intense. Ooh.
I don't think I've got audio just yet.
Well, shit. Okay. So you were doing audio before. Why are you
Unless
not doing
that's
audio?
just me.
Talk again.
And because my audio could be crazy. Doing its own thing, because it was doing its own thing before. And why would it want to do its... Why would it want to do what I want it to do?
Will it do its thing?
It is. Okay.
My audio is just insane. Anyway, hello, the three people that are here that are probably just our friends. So, can you hear us?
I probably can. Now that I've actually done the things that I needed to get volume through my headphones. Discord was running through my headphones, but nothing else was. Hello, everybody. We are Roll for Dopamine, and we will be playing Daggerheart this evening. I am enforcing people to play it at any possible moment, and I have dragged these wonderful three people in to play with me. Hopefully for the next 2 sessions. Fingers crossed that everything works out and we can next week as well. But always the bane of TTRPGs is scheduling. Okay, cool. So I want to just run through how the game works. And I'm just going to be reading off the description that's been given to us on the quick start guide that is provided at Daggerheart.com. So if you want to play yourself at home, you can super easy check it out yourself. We're going to quickly cover the basics of what you need to know to start playing. First off, Daggerheart is a collaborative, narrative-focused role-playing game. That means we'll all be working together to tell a story using the mechanics of the game as our foundation. You will each make choices for your characters during the adventure, and I will describe the rest of the world reacting around them. Sometimes I might ask you a question, what your character knows about a place or has heard about a person. I'll do my best to integrate your answers into the story we're telling. So that we're building this world together. Okay, let's turn to our character sheets, and you'll find an additional page underneath it that we'll call the sidecar. I think that should be available to everyone. I think it's like right underneath it in the PDF that we're following along with. Yeah. Okay, so the main thing is action roll. Now that we've looked at our character sheets, let's talk about how we roll the dice in Daggerheart. That was just way more than skipping ahead really quickly. Interesting. I don't know where to go. But obviously, just looking at the character sheets, you'll have your evasion, armor, damage, and health. When you're in combat, I will roll, and I'll tell you, does a 16 hit? Once again, just similar to most other TTRPGs, he'll say if it hits your evasion, then it hits you, and then I'll roll damage. And then with damage, it's slightly different. With damage, I will roll an amount, and I'll say does 8 damage. I do 8 damage to you, and I'm looking. Okay, I'll look at. We'll look at Marlowe's character here. So Marlowe has a minor damage threshold of 7 and a major damage. Sorry, a major damage threshold of 7. I think that's how it works, and a severe damage threshold of 14. So because I rolled 8 damage, or whatever I said, that would become a major wound, and you would mark 2 HP. But one of the nice things about this is you can use an armor slot. So that would be, we've got Marlowe has 3 armor slots given by the 3 armor icon, and then you can scratch out, or you can mark that you've used an armor slot, and you can actually drop the damage down to 1 damage threshold, and then you will only take 1 damage. And obviously you can still use that for even smaller damage. So if something hits you for less than your the major damage threshold, and it becomes a major damage, then you can, if you use an armor, you will negate all damage. Alright. Similarly to most other TTRPGs, you've got your agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge, and they all kind of have smaller, more specific things to them, like recalling something, deceiving someone, perceiving, control, lift, smash, grapple, uh, leap and sprint. These are all related to your physical attributes of your character. Very similar. We'll use them throughout with an action roll. Um, Big thing is your hope. You can use hope to use a lot of your actions and spells, which you'll find in your uh, level 1 loadout, which is probably slightly further down. Um, you might need to spend a hope to cast a spell of some kind, or you can spend 3 and use your character's well, your class features usually. You can also spend 3 hope to do a tag team role, in where during combat or even during social situations you can tag team up with an ally, and you can both roll. You'll use the higher roll, and you'll both gain the benefits, and you'll deal all the damage at the same time. So it's possible to either maybe get a severe damage or something like that to an enemy. Um, you've got active weapons. You've got active armor. Your armor indicates what your damage thresholds are. So your this leather armor that Marlowe's got, you've got 6 base. So 6 and 13 are your base thresholds. That will then be added with your level, and then that will change your how your damage thresholds are presented in your damage and health section. Interestingly, you might have a minor stamina potion or a minor healing potion. Healing potion obviously clears your health. Stamina potions clear stress, which is another big thing in this game, because it will if you've will usually use it as a resource throughout the game. You'll gain it, you'll lose it, and if you've lost all of your stress, you become vulnerable, and so therefore you will. I think you'll gain people
If
will
we
gain
lose,
advantage on you.
okay,
I've got to
if we
double
max
check
out
that one.
our stress, that
Yes,
happens.
if you max out your stress.
Okay, not like
Um,
if we get cleared of all of our stress. Sorry, my bad.
yes, yeah, yeah. And then, but also just remember, enemies also have health and stress. If you can stress out your opponent, you also gain some benefits. Yeah, if you have full stress and you actually and you gain another stress, you will take an immediate health, one point of health. So there are different ways to deal damage. As I mean, we were discussing this earlier, but experiences, they're usually just words or phrases that will dictate, which exemplify something in your past that will affect you in present role. Um, and usually you can kind of like bend them to gonna get that far just
A
this second.
horde?
Probably. I was thinking horde. You become a bank. I
Aw, I want to be a dragon.
don't know. Yeah. And one of the cool things that uh comes with when you buy the Daggerheart book is a whole bunch of cards. And as you know, someone that used to play in my trading card games, Magic the Gathering more specifically, I love a physical card, and so you will when you play this game, usually in person, you can have cards that will dictate or that will show your ancestry, which is what race you are, your community, which is the kind of background that you are, your subclasses, obviously, and then you'll get domain cards as well, which will usually tell you what spells you have or any special abilities you might gain. And they are specific to the class that you have. Okay, hopefully that was clear. Any questions from our crew at the moment?
Not right now, but I'm
Okay.
definitely going to have questions as we go. Sorry, that was quite a bit of information.
No worries, that is fine. We are all learning. So now that we've looked at our character sheets, let's talk about how we roll the dice in Daggerheart. I'll give you the basics and we'll learn more as we go. First, grab your 2d12 dice. They're called your duality dice. Decide which ones represents hope and which one represents fear.
Do we think
When
that
you
hope
have-
is green?
Sorry, what was that?
Do we think that hope is green?
What kind of green?
Okay,
Yeah.
so, camera clearly not working. But if you recall, I've shown on stream before the dice that Wombat got me. So they're like green with gold edges and it's kind of sparkly inside. Because the
Okay,
dice
then that's clearly hope.
Yeah, okay. Because my other one is red. So.
Fear, definitely. All right. Awesome.
Opportunity for Wombat's
I've
dice
gone
to
with a
find-
red-green mix for my stress,
Nice.
but like a blue and white. My hope.
I would totally, if I was playing along, I would use. I would use
Okay.
these two.
Show us more closely. Ooh.
Obviously, this is going to be my fear dice.
That is some
Yep.
fearful dice.
This is going to
Good
be
hope.
my hope dice.
Love
Does it
it.
have sparkles of blue in it?
This one? No, I think that's just the reflection of my computer screen.
Can I eat that dice?
Looks good.
No.
But it
No.
looks delicious. I want to eat the dice.
What flavor does it look like?
Cotton candy, clearly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's cotton candy. To me, it's like a boiled lolly. So I like the flavor is basically irrelevant because it will just be boiled sugar and it will be delicious. And somebody will be like, is that strawberry? And I'm like, couldn't tell you. It just tastes like delicious.
It's got it's got an icon on it, but that has absolutely nothing to do with the flavor at all.
Means nothing, yeah.
Okay, when you have your character do something in the story that is dangerous or could result in consequences, I'll ask you to make an action roll. You'll roll both of these d12 and add the applicable character trait to the result. I'll usually tell you which one it is, but sometimes I might ask you. If you want to, you may use some of the tokens you have to represent the modifier for the roll. So, one thing these instructions ask of us is for tokens, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, obviously it's much easier for math, really. What you'll do is you'll have both your dice and the amount of modifiers you might have. So if it's a +2, you might have 2 tokens, and you'll roll them with it, so that you know what to add. So you'll have your dice, you'll add both of the dice together, and then you'll add the tokens as well, and that will be your result. So let's say you're making an agility roll, and you have +2 to that trait. You'll take 2 tokens into your hand and roll them along with your dice. Then you'll count up everything and tell me the result, along with which die rolled higher. For example, if you rolled a 6 on the hope die and a 10 on the fear die, that would be a 16 plus the 2 tokens you rolled, bringing it to a total of 18. And because the fear die rolled higher, you would tell me that you got an 18 with fear. If you rolled with hope, you mark a hope on your sheet. If you roll with fear, I gain a fear and can make a GM move, which means that I get to impact the story and the flow of the narrative, usually to add some sort of complication to the scene. I start the game with a number of fear equal to the number of players. So let me pull out my dark fear dice, and I'm gonna set that to 3. Just for online activities, I'll keep it at 3, and if you ever need to ask how much fear I have, I will tell you.
Cool, because so far the chat has been Dispel Dice specifically tells you not to eat the dice. Eat the dice. And that we cannot condone eating the dice, so.
Well, you know, it's rough to not eat dice or something. I haven't eaten any dice yet, despite my efforts.
I want to eat the dice, though.
Don't eat dice. Fish are friends, not food.
That depends how badly I roll.
Whoa, that's a whole like different, dice jail.
Dice jail.
Cursed dice jail. Okay. Sometimes you might have an experience that applies to a role. Maybe you might have the expert climber and are attempting to scale a wall, or eagle eye and you're trying to spot tracks in the dirt. You can spend a hope before the roll to describe how that experience helps you and add its value to your roll. Lastly, let's talk about special spellcast rolls. Those are action rolls using your spellcast trait, which will be on your subclass's foundation card if you're a spellcaster. For example, Marlowe's spellcast trait is Instinct. Okay. How dice rolls affect the story. All right. We've talked about how we roll dice. Let's talk about what they do in the story. Usually, I'll set a difficulty for the roll based on the situation, like a 6, or a 14, or a 25. And your goal is to meet or beat that number. If an ability or spell has a number on it, like the spellcast roll 13, that is the difficulty of the roll. If you succeed, you get what you wanted. If you don't, you fail, and something new happens in the story because of it. Hope and fear also play a part in this. If you get a success with hope, that means you accomplish your goal and all is well. You can continue to pass the scene around the table to other players as you like. A success with fear means you do it, but there is a consequence. So I gain a fear, and I can make what we call a GM move. This just means I'll change the story in some way that you might have to mark a stress, adversaries might attack, the environment might change, or you might only get part of what you wanted. The move I make will always aim to push the story we're telling forward in an exciting way. If you roll a failure with hope, you don't get what you wanted, but things don't go as badly as they could. I'll make a move that matches the narrative, then I'll turn things back to the rest of the table. If you roll a failure with fear, the situation goes very badly. I'll gain a fear and make a move that raises the stakes to highlight the consequences. Saving the best for last. If you ever roll 2 of the same number, no matter what the number is, that is a critical success. In Daggerheart, you get what you wanted and a little extra. You get to mark a hope, and you can also clear a stress. If you have one, that is. If it is an attack roll, you add the maximum your damage dice could roll as a modifier to your damage roll. For example, if you deal 1d8 plus 4 damage, you'd add an additional 8 damage to the roll. And then finally, we're going to talk about combat. Sometimes, when a fight breaks out, I'll put out a map of some kind to the table and show where everybody is. When you want to attack a target, you'll ask me if it's in range of your weapon. If it is, you can make an action roll, with that weapon, using the trait it calls for. This is called an attack roll. If you succeed against the target, you'll then make a damage roll. Look at the damage dice section of your weapon and roll the specified dice. Then tell me the total and whether the damage is physical or magic. These are the only 2 damage types, physical or magic. If any action roll during combat with fear or a failure I will often use my GM move to put the spotlight on an adversary who is attacking you or doing something else important in the scene as a consequence. Additionally, I have the opportunity to spend fear after that happens to shift the spotlight to an additional adversary or make another GM move. In most cases, I can't have the same enemy take the spotlight more than once in a GM turn. So after I'm out of adversary to spotlight, or I've spent as much fear as I want to, I'll pass the play back to you all to figure out what happens next. Combat functions just the same as the rest of the game, meaning that there is no turn order you must go in. You all get to do what you would like to in the order that you want it to do, in the order you want to do it. And I get to make a GM moves in response. Because of this, you shouldn't feel locked into only making an attack on the enemy once the fight breaks out. Remember to think about the scene and situation as a whole narrative moment, and consider what you might do to make the best story.
So it's not like D&D where it's kind of like you try and do what your character would do while solving, you know, the overall goal of like the quest. It's a bit more of like you're trying to make an interesting story.
Well, I mean, that you make an interesting character, usually.
Yeah, I think that's the same. You still overwatch your overarching goal, and you still want to do it in the way that your character would choose to do it, but the play format is a little bit more fluid. So, you know, you can effectively live bounce ideas off people rather than being like, okay, on my turn, this is where all the enemies are, rather than being like, I'm going to capitalize on that and I'm going to throw my frog companion.
Yes, throw the frog companion.
She could still be coming up later.
I've been thinking about it.
Ever since last time we played, Isabel, as the frog companion, was like, maybe if I was a giant, I would throw them.
Basically, sorry, not to jump in here with the story, but the frog companion has a lot of stealth as an option, so I would hide on the giant. So that's what I was doing. Anyway, but you can't use that cool move, Morgan, because, no. I mean, whoever's playing the frog.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so just before we go into the actual story itself, there were just a couple more things on your character sheets that I would like to go over. So if you go to the your first character card, not necessarily your character sheet, but you'll see at the bottom you've got connections. And so one of the big things about Daggerheart is that it's a lot more roleplay focused, and there's a lot more focus on connections between characters, especially. And so I want to just run through some of these with you guys, and they're pretty direct questions to each individual character, but also for I guess for the people at home. Loz, do you want to give a quick overview of the character you're playing?
Hi, I'm Marlo Fairwind. I'm a personal mage to the king, and I'm responsible for bringing the group together. I appear quite calm right up until I'm not. So, yes, I'm very excited to play the sorcerer. I'm an elf, and I have 3 options for my connections. Am I reading these out?
Yeah, you want to.
Um, I have my options of I trust you with my life and I owe you a favor.
So would you? I mean, you could ask one of our characters, or if you wanted to.
Yes. You guys feel strongly towards one of those statements?
I mean, so I'm playing Kari Nix, which is the Ridgeborn Giant Guardian. And my character overview says that I am loyal to the end. So perhaps you trust me with your life.
I feel that is appropriate.
Loyal
Lovely.
to the end with a dry sense of humor, she will suffer no fools. Kari was practically born with an axe in her hand. Yeah. And well, just to introduce our final character, Morgan. Who are you playing?
I am Barnacle, the underborn rivet rogue. There's no danger he will not get into, and no situation he cannot get out of. He fears water and will not swim. So, my connections are I'd follow you anywhere, we get in too much trouble, or I'm intimidated by you.
Does anyone
do you
resonate with
feel?
some of those?
What was the first one?
I'd follow you anywhere.
And the second one?
We get in too much trouble, which my initial reaction is like that Opal's character, Kari, is maybe the one that I would have that with, because like if she's got the sense of humor, like maybe we get on and then we start a bit of trouble together, whereas your character is a bit more the opposite of my character, because I'm from like a cabin society that lives deep underground, so I feel like there's a possibility that maybe I would be intimidated by you, of like, you know, your personal mage to the king, you're fancy, and I feel like I would maybe be a little bit. I don't
feel
know
that's
about it.
appropriate, but I'm going to say I owe you a favor, which is interesting.
I mean, I think
Yes.
you can still have both of them. The reason why you two are together is because Marlowe owes Barnacle a favor, but that doesn't stop Barnacle from being intimidated by a royal mage of the king.
Yes.
I like it.
Kari, did you want any other connections with the two of you, with your other two companions?
Yeah. So if you guys want to jump into either of these or any of these, we both want the same thing. I'm trying to impress you, and you are my childhood friend.
I want to be your childhood friend if you're amenable to that. I feel like it fits with the we're friends, we get in too much trouble together. I feel like that could be fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like that call.
I mean, I was raised in the mountains, so I guess I could have hung out in a cabin nearby the
That's
mountains.
Hells yeah.
I like it. What were you going to say before?
Ah, nothing? I don't know if you can hear my clickety clackety keyboard, but I'm enjoying my
Can hear
clickety
the clickety.
clackety keyboard.
Hells yeah. All right. Is there a connection between Kari and Marlowe?
Do we both have the same goal? We both want the same thing? Or I'm trying to impress you? That's not.
I don't know.
Well, we have already established that Marlowe trusts Kari with her life. So
Perhaps it's because we both want the same thing.
Okay. Same end.
awesome.
Or I'm trying to impress you. Do you like those are your choices? Am I loyal to you because I'm trying to impress you and I think you're really cool?
We want the same thing.
Okay.
Cool. Because I think that helps us get a little bit into our characters and understand the connections we have or the relationships we have with each other before we get into the story. All right. So, as a general opening, we are in the Sablewood. Marlowe Fairwind, the right-hand sorcerer of King Emerus, has gathered her most trusted allies to carry an important package to Hush, a small village within the ancient forest of the Sablewood. The crate is large, heavy, and sealed with magic, addressed to the Whitefire Arcanist. You've been given a map and a carriage, and the promise of a reward upon your arrival. Alright. So, this evening, your party finally made it to the Sablewood, a sprawling forest of colossal trees, some say are even older than the Forgotten Gods. It's a place renowned for two things: its sunken pathways that provide the trade routes for many traveling merchants, and its unique hybrid animals. Uh, Even now, from within your carriage, you can hear strange sounds. The low calls from the lark moths and the croak of the lemur toads, the skittering of a family of foxbats in the underbrush. One of you is driving the carriage. Who is it?
Well, can I ask some questions first?
Of course.
What are the normal creatures for the Sablewood? So, would a giant stand out exceptionally here? So, like, the Sablewood is not from where Barnacle or I are like from, but is it often full of giants and frogs and the like? Would I stand out if I was to be the one driving?
I would say that most people would, like any humanoids, would stand out as being such, you know, well, it's not a animal hybrid. These woods are usually uninhabited by the local population, like by regular folk. Um, Outside of the village of Hush, which I think maybe Marlowe would have heard of before, but that's about it. You What do you mean by stand out? You know?
Well, if the denizens of the forest are normally like frogs and bats and other creatures of that ilk, would an elf or a giant be a huge indicator that something is different or amiss with our cart?
Um, not as much as any other traveler would be. There is no ancestry that is local to the Sablewood. Well, I mean I would say that the Sablewood isn't as grandiose, like it isn't a huge area, in terms of just like a global scale in this little world that we're creating. But it's still, if as a in real life, if you were to wander through a forest, it wouldn't be too. You would still technically be out of place, but not not as a not
All right, then if
not
it's
terribly
not,
so.
if it's okay with everybody else, I'll drive the cart. I have to be impressive after
dropped my dice.
all.
I
Okay,
think
cool.
like I'd like to be like sitting on your shoulder.
Hells yeah. And then where is Marlowe?
Probably is it a covered carriage or is it open?
I mean, it's up to you. What would Marlowe be, having her companions ride in? I feel like she might have been taking the lead on the carriage acquisition. If not, maybe it was gifted to you by the king as it was a package that she must deliver.
Yes, in which case I'm probably sitting on the back tail of the wagon with like a quite a lush cushion, and my feet are like off the edge, and I've got probably a book in my lap as I'm sitting and just reading as we go.
So fancy.
Yeah.
A bit prim and proper.
Yeah. Okay. As your steed pulls the cart around a tight corner, one wheel almost coming off the ground for just a moment, you see an overturned merchant cart laying sideways in the path before you, blocking your way. A scattering of fruits and vegetables litter the trail. From around the side of the carriage steps a Strix wolf, a large creature with the body of a wolf and the head of an owl, and large wings adorning its back. It finishes chewing on its meal, the hand of the dead merchant, as it stares at you, curious, trying to judge whether you're friend or foe. Then you see, following clumsily behind, two small pups watching the mother cautiously. From within, the rest of you feel your carriage come to a stop. What would you like to do?
I'm going to call to Marlo and say, nothing exciting out here, but we'll have to stop for a minute.
You need anything, or are you good?
I think we can move this along.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm going
Can
to.
I?
Yep.
Oh, go on.
Yep. No, go for it.
No, it's all right. You go. You're in the middle of something.
I was gonna get off the cart, and I'm gonna try and shoo the creature away, using my sheer size as my option.
Okay. The Strix Wolf is wary of your movement. Let's make our first roll to see how she reacts. This will be using your presence trait, so grab your duality dice and roll them, then add your presence. You can also spend a hope before the roll to add an experience. If it applies, then tell me the total and which die rolled higher.
Okay. Oh no. So I rolled a 12 on the fear dice and an 8 on the less fear dice.
Okay.
And my presence is a 0. So that's
Okay.
that's a 20. This
20 with fear.
20 with fear. Yeah. And I would just like to point out that these are still the dice that Wombat got me, and I've never had a good roll with them.
Look, okay. It was a success, but it was with fear. So my little dice goes from a 3 to a 4. Okay. The mother hoots, howls as if calling to another Strix wolf among the trees. You know you might not be alone for long, but she does, pulling at the disembodied hand, pulls away, and the Strix wolf slowly crawls back away from the cart, putting a wing out to get her children to get onto her back as she jumps off the ground and flies off into the nearby trees.
Can I? I've got the they don't see me coming, and I do rogue stuff.
Yep.
Can I kind of slip into the shadows of the forest and try and
Yep.
get close to the cart? See if
Yep.
anyone's left alive.
Okay. Okay. Let me. Give me a. Okay. What's the? Give me a perception roll for me, just really quick.
So just to make sure I'm doing this right.
Yep.
When I'm rolling perception, am I just rolling my d12 and then adding one of my
Instinct.
things to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, your instinct. So you'll roll 2d12, and you'll add your instinct modifier.
Okay.
So then designate which one is going to be your hope and which one's going to be your fear.
Okay, for hope I got 12, and for fear I got 6.
Okay.
And then for perception, for instinct, I've got 0. So I got 18.
Yes, you did. Okay, so, okay, awesome. So as you go, so I obviously I have put up the battle map, and this is where we're at the moment. It should be in the Discord chat if you have that, or it should be on stream for everybody else at home.
It should 100% be on
And
stream.
so, yeah,
Everybody see it?
awesome. I mean, I see it, but that's also because I've put it up myself. Yeah, and so which direction would you kind of want to be? You'll be essentially your cart has come up from the south, from the lowest point of the
Mhm.
bottom of the picture, and you're
Mhm.
moving around. You've got a rocky outcropping that rises up 1 to 2 meters on your right side, and you've got quite dense bushes and trees on your left as the path sweeps around, and you can hear a small trickle of a stream further down the hill. There is a relative hill to this whole section.
What direction did the wolves go in?
So they backed away to the right of this image. So
Okay, cool. Then I would like to go through the brush because I like hide really well and perceive details really well in like dark because of my backstory.
okay, and you also wanted to be hiding as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you rolled a success with hope, because you rolled a 12 on your hope die, so you gain a hope. I think that you all should start with some hope. I'm fairly certain.
You start with 2 each.
Awesome. Cool. Sorry, I think I missed that one.
You start with 2 hope and a handful of gold. It does say it at the top of our character sheet, so character sheet and cards. It says on the next find, you'll find your character sheet, finish off the build, mark 2 hope and a handful of gold.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. That's what I wanted to see. Awesome.
And just while we're doing that, are you about to do something?
I was just about to tell Barnacle that you hear the sound of a branch snapping and turn to see 5 thistle folk sneaking through the underbrush, attempting to get the jump on your party. The overturned cart was a distraction, but their plan didn't work. And now we get a little bit. Well, I'm going to give you a moment to before we jump into combat, as they were going to jump at you. But also, I would like. Can I get Barnacle? Can I also get you to roll another hide check? See how well you
Yes.
hide.
I'm rolling. So for my hope die, I got 1, which is not good. And for my fear die, I got 10. So I got 11. But I get advantage when I'm in an area with low light or heavy shadow. I have advantage on rolls to hide, investigate, or perceive details within that area. So do I get to re-roll?
No, so advantage is slightly different in this system. So advantage actually just means an extra d6. So you can roll a d6 and you get however much you roll.
Okay, let me add the d6. Okay, I got 4. So on top of my 11, I have 15. Because I have, and excuse me if I'm not remembering this right, because I have They Don't See Me Coming, can I use that experience as well as part of this? Because I know sometimes you can use those experiences.
Yeah. So usually you'd say it before the roll, but just for this, we
Sorry.
could say, yeah. I mean, well, you could still use it. So you'd spend a hope to use it, and you can add +2 to that total.
Okay. I will spend 1 hope, and we can make a mark. -1.
Awesome. Cool. So
Thank
with
you.
a 17, 17 was it? It was 110, 4, and
15 plus 2 from my They Don't See Me Coming.
yep. Okay. Well, It was a success, but it was
Woo!
with fear. So
Woo!
I'm not actually going to do anything just yet, but I'm
Okay.
going to gain another fear. And I'm going to give you the opportunity now. If any of you would like to do anything.
I would like to, like, knowing I have a long history with Kari at a minimum, and probably a good history with Marlo as well, I want to make a signal that they would know is that there is danger afoot. Something's wrong. So like, I'm assuming it's going to be like a whistle that they will recognize that hopefully comes off as like natural in this environment if it's possible.
Yeah, no. There are some odd sounds as different these different hybrid combinations of creatures are kind of skittering about in the underbrush. But yeah, so in painting this picture, I would assume that you're like going to try to climb one of the trees nearby that has a quite a thick trunk, and as you're climbing up, you notice in one of the branches above you are two of these thistle warriors that are ready to pounce onto you guys as Kari steps closer and closer uh, to the cart. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and so you let off this little. Would you do a croak as a ribbit?
Yeah, actually, I would. I would do like a frog sound. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do like a deep croak.
Um, yeah. Okay. Awesome. So you're kind of halfway up the
Can you do a
tree. I
deep
want to
croak?
say.
Yeah, and make a croak. Croak.
Yeah, croak.
Guys, there's a reason I never do the voice acting.
Just
What?
just burp really loud on command right now. That'll work.
Roll for Dopamine is known for having such professional voice actors. What are you guys talking about?
You've been sent a frog in the chat. You should do it.
Just because the chat demands it, I will attempt. But I've literally never attempted this before, so everyone's
Do
gonna have to
it, do
accept
it,
that
do
this
it, do
is
it.
not gonna do.
I loved it.
Hell
Do
Not
yeah.
it,
happening
okay.
Yeah.
again.
Don't worry, that will live on in our
Clip that,
in
somebody
our
clip that.
Instagram
No
shorts
clips
and
of that.
reels.
No, no, it's not
Add it
allowed
to the
to go on
soundboard.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You've now got 3 frogs in chat, so you know.
Ribbits, come on. Okay, awesome. So the other two allies, Marlo and Kari, what would you guys like to do hearing this sound?
I would
Oh yeah.
close my. Yep.
I was gonna say we recognize it, right? Like we. Yeah.
Yep. I think that I feel like Kari. I mean, Kari, you've definitely worked with Barnacle a number of times, particularly in sort of that adventuring scenario, and to get yourselves out of a pickle. You've definitely heard this one before.
Okay.
I would slam my book closed, pop it on the thing, jump up on the wagon, have a look out. Do I immediately see them now that I'm looking?
Make a perception roll.
Okay. I got on my hope dice, I got a 12, and on my fear dice, I got a 7. So that's a 19 with hope.
Yeah, so you gain a hope. You do see them as you can kind of track where Barnacle had darted off to, and then you see kind of above you in a couple of the trees, and then even in some of the brush below as well. There are some eyes just peeking out at you.
Um,
And then just finally, what was the last thing, Kari? What were you gonna do?
So kind of like recognizing this sound, I would like to jump in that direction and say, all right, flatten yourself, and just kind of swing over where like I know she like roughly was, so that I can like try and like slice anything that's around her in half. Like if it was hiding in the bushes, like come through and do like a big sweep.
100%.
my
Well,
axe?
okay. So I was saying that so okay, using the battle map, I was saying that maybe like 2 of them were in this big tree on the left side. There were a couple in the brushes between the 2 trees, and then maybe one more in this uh in the big tree in the kind of middle top. Hopefully that's a little bit clear. But like, so as Barnacle was kind of climbing up the first tree, she's notified you. I don't think you could necessarily swing for a high branch, but you've definitely, with Marlowe's, eyeing it off as to where the other group are that are in the brushes, you could definitely kind of like give a 1-2 jump, leap, and land, and have a big swing for one of the guys in the brush, if that's what you like to do.
I'd be keen.
Awesome. Well, let's get into that then. So getting started. Yeah. So just in terms of the visuals on the map, so we're gonna say that obviously Barnacle is by the tree. I'd say your cart is roughly where the foot trail stops on the south side, and then Kari is now towards the bushes roughly, and there are two two thistlefolk in the tree above Barnacle. There are 2 thistlefolk in the brushes by Kari, and then there's one more in another tree up by in the next tree over, essentially. Would you like to make a swing, a weapon attack roll
Yes,
for
I
me?
would. Okay. So, would you mind walking me through the weapon attack again? How I do it? So
Sure. I've lost. Okay. All right. So, okay. So you're using your strength trait. Yeah. So I think that's a +2
Yeah.
to your to
Lift,
your thing.
smash,
You could
grab.
also use your experience, not afraid of anything, in this kind of scenario where you're leaping into action, not afraid of anything. You're coming in to whatever it could possibly be. If you
Yeah.
wanted to spend a hope to do so.
Yes. Let's do that.
Okay, awesome. So then, yes, roll your 2d12s, and then you'll add your strength bonus and your experience bonus.
Guys, I got 2 nat ones.
It's a
Oh,
double.
but that means it's a
Crits.
crit.
It is a crit! Critical hit!
Hells
It's
yeah!
terrifying! I
Woo!
rolled a 1 and I was
First
like,
roll
oh
of
no!
the combat.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So you gain a hope, and you get to clear a stress if you've used any.
Snake Eyes
But I
crit
don't think
indeed.
but I don't think you have yet.
I don't have any stress, no.
Yep. And then and then so then roll your damage dice. Roll your d10, and we'll see how much plus 13 you deal. Oh jeez.
It's a 5 plus 3, so 8 physical damage.
8 plus 8 plus 3.
Yeah, that's my normal battle axe damage.
Yep. Plus the 10.
Oh, plus 10.
Yep.
Oh, my brain. Somebody help me. 23 then? No, wait. 8.
8 plus 3, 11. Plus 10, 21.
Yep.
Hells yeah, that's a huge hit to start off with. How is it? Just you come down? Are you landing before you swing, or is it while you're jumped mid-air? You're coming down with the force of the weight of a giant.
The weight of a giant. Let's slam them in.
Hells yeah. Well, you see the first ambusher, and you just carve down quite heavily, and you sink quite deep into them. It is a very, very significant wound. He is looking immediately hurt.
Excellent.
Boom, boom. That marked that one off for that guy. Okay. So it's still, you rolled with success. You rolled a critical success. So it's still up to you guys. Who would like to go next?
I'm going to cast a minor illusion on top of the box. So I'm going to do a
Sorry, on top of
spellcast
what
roll, and I need a
box?
spellcast roll of 10 on top of our crate. Sorry.
On top of the storage crate that you've got, the special cargo you guys have got. Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to cast a minor visual illusion. It's no larger than myself, but I'm going to make it a kind of a very aggressive looking snake. I kind of sit it on top of the box to make it not appealing, so I can
Okay.
go and fight these people and they don't go for our crate.
Awesome. I don't think there needs to be a roll for that one just yet. So, does Barnacle want to be doing anything right now?
Yes. So while I'm hidden, there's like a group coming up on everyone, but there's also some in the tree that I'm kind of in right now, aren't there?
Yeah. There's
They haven't seen me though, have they?
No, they haven't.
Okay. I can
There's
do.
one. I'll tell you now. There's one with a short sword, quite padded, I guess, in the sort of garb that he has. So these thistle folk, they are a little bit more like reptilian than a regular frog, but with really big black eyes, almost like an alligator with a lot longer of a snout. Or like a short snout in comparison to like an alligator or a crocodile, but still larger than a frog kind of. But they've still got those big kind of black eyes that bulb around their head, and they are humanoid, but they do have quite slippery, slimy, almost reptilian skin, and they've got small pebbles that are just kind of loosely strapped to major places to form a very rudimentary armor, and very they not very good. They've got a serrated dagger, but nothing of what seems to be value on in as a weapon.
Is their position in the tree like they're on a branch and
Yep.
I could possibly dislodge them?
Definitely, yeah.
Great. I would like to use one of my special skills. I can use my tongue to grab onto things within close range if I mark a stress. So it's like a finesse close weapon and it deals d12 physical damage. So I want to hit the closest one and knock it if I can, or like pull it, whatever you'll allow.
Yep.
And try and make it
Hells
fall
yeah.
as well.
Let's go for that. So there are two of them. There's one that's in a little bit bulkier looking armor. He's got a lot more pebbles on him. There's another one with a little bit more has like kind of cloaked with a lot more leaves on his shoulders and around his waist. He's looks like one of
Knock
them is
one
a
to the
little bit more.
ground.
I think I should probably go for the cloaked one with the leaves.
Okay.
And ideally, if I can, I want to try and remain hidden. Obviously, don't know what's possible there. But also, the thing says I should use my proficiency. How do I do that?
Okay, so proficiency is different in this game. Proficiency is essentially just how many dice you use for your damage. So proficiency will change per in when you get through different tiers. You have a level, but you also have a tier. That's just let me just read what you are talking about. So you're talking about
My ribbit ancestry on my level 1 loadout page in the middle, where it's got the little cute picture of me as a frog, and then it talks about the long tongue, and there's a note underneath it saying, "Use your proficiency."
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So that's just so when you deal damage, your proficiency number will determine how many damage dice you roll. So you're currently proficiency 1. When you're proficiency 2, you'll deal 2d. It'll do 2d12
Oh, cool. Okay.
of damage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to do my hope and my fear roll first.
Yes, to see if you can hit him.
Okay.
And you're hitting the guy that's looking a little bit more sneaky, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
So hope die I got 12. Fear
Okay.
die I got 9.
Damn. Okay.
And
you guys are rolling so well. All right.
do I add anything to that?
Roll for murder.
Yes, I think you should. It should be your finesse as well.
+2. So 23.
Definitely. Definitely hits with, and that was a success as well, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right. So mark yourself a success. Did you also need to mark a stress for that ability as well? Okay. Awesome. And mark that stress as well. Cool. So yeah, you and then so you do hit him, and he gets. Are you wrapping? I'm thinking like, are you sending out your tongue to just kind of smack him in the back, or are you kind of wrapping it around and pulling him down?
Well, I definitely want to knock them over, but I also want to do damage.
Pull him down. And
Yeah.
within range.
I mean, I would. Sorry, that was just flair. They are definitely gonna fall down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then I'm just going to do the hit and then have them fall because I think it's like a bit more dramatic.
Okay, so you smack him from
Looks funny if they
behind,
don't know you're
and then
there.
they kind of fall forwards. Okay, so that was okay. Yep.
I've got to
Can
roll
you
damage,
roll
right?
damage? Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
also roll a d6 for their fall damage as well.
I got D12 damage on my D12 roll. I'm very happy.
Hells yeah.
Okay, and then 6 for the fall.
Yeah, 6 for the
I
fall
got
damage.
5!
Okay, huge damage. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. So what is that as a total?
17.
17. Okay, that is once again another severe wound. No, sorry, a major wound. Hold on, it's a severe wound. It is greater than his. Oh, it's. Oh, whoa. Sorry. Kari, what was it? What was it that you got in your attack? What? How much damage?
I did.
20 something?
It was 10 plus 5 plus 3.
So you.
18.
My bad. My mistake. I read this wrong. You annihilate this person. They are no longer on the floor. Sorry, they're just on the floor, not moving.
Hey guys, I missed.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, you guys are dealing very high damage. Yeah, so you slam this guy in the back with your tongue, and he falls down face first into the mud, and into the trees below, and he's still up, but it doesn't look like his his arm is pointing the right way.
As he immediately falls down, I'm obviously going to be keeping my eye out because I heard where the croak comes from. Can I just wait for this guy to land and then smack him straight across the face with my staff?
100%. You guys still have the floor.
Great.
All right.
Rolling.
Wreck 'em.
Sure, yeah. Roll your duality dice and add.
I
add-
double fours.
Oh, what the fuck?
Maximum
Okay.
damage.
Okay. Damn. Yes. So,
You didn't want this to be a long
because
combat, right?
well, I definitely did add more people to this after the last time we did this. So six. I'm look, it succeeds and you gain a success. Sorry, you gain a hope and you clear a stress if you have one.
Do not. But how? So are you 1d6 plus 3? So he gets 9.
Um, yes. It's sorry. I think the dual staff technically is an instinct fire, and because it's a magic attack, so I think that it is just a regular spell attack. So I'm gonna make this a 1d6 plus 1, and it's gonna be physical. Just because I think that the dual staff is technically using your magic ability, a magic spell that you can deal damage with. So I'm just gonna negate that
I
one
shall
just
smack this guy
slightly.
across the head.
Yeah. But go ahead. How much damage do you deal?
Okay, and I need to roll a d6. Is it max damage because I doubled, or
It
do I roll
is.
that separately?
It is. So you
Oh,
roll
1d6
you
plus 1
roll
is
1d6 and then you add 7 damage.
Oh, okay.
So it's the d6 is maxed out for the first one, and then you get to roll again, and then still plus
Ew.
1.
I wasn't understanding that. Okay, so I got 4 for that one. Plus 7 is 13.
Okay. Yup.
11. I can't do that. Math.
You crack him across the head, and he is no longer moving, and his head is at an obtuse angle to the rest of his body. I am going
Good
to,
words.
even though you guys have been rolling with successes and with hope, I'm going to spend a fear to jump into spotlight some of the characters that are still alive. Um,
For
because yeah,
now.
so there's sorry, just to tell you still, there's one more in the tree ahead of Barnacle. There is one in the brush in front of Kari, and there's still another in the other tree. FYI, on another branch. I am going to use a fear to take the turn. I'm going to spend a fear to spotlight one of the Thistlefolk ambushes. So the one that was in the tree with Barnacle, not really knowing that you were behind them, is still going to kind of almost following their leader's actions and jump down from the tree. They were doing this much more carefully than their friend that fell face first. They'll land in front of Marlowe and go for a swipe at you. Okay. One of the things about this game is that the DM still rolls a d20, and I can crit on a nat 20, of course. So.
Sounds like cheating to me.
Okay.
We can't
All
get
right.
doubles.
I can't get doubles, but I can still get crits. But that is a 13 to hit. Does that hit
Yeah,
Marlowe's
and
evasion?
it hits.
Okay, awesome. So then I am rolling 1d8 plus 5. Okay. I'm using this whole like dice set of just darkness to be evil. You guys are ruining my fun.
No.
There's no way. Damn. So that is 6 damage towards you.
Okay, it's a minor damage.
Yep.
Not like a
Okay.
HP.
Damn. Awesome. I'm going to continue swinging. There's one in front of Kari that I'm going to also spotlight with another fear. And
Bring
so
it.
they are going to do the same thing. And they're going to kind of swipe at you with their little dagger that they've got.
Itty bitty
Um,
dagger.
But a 2 doesn't hit you. I rolled a nat 1. What the hell?
A 2 does not hit me. Do I get to laugh at this?
You definitely get to laugh at this thing. As they swipe as you and you back up with probably too much finesse. You know, as for such a big target, you just kind of take 2 quick steps back. Your like martial knowledge is really coming into play here. And then with my coming down to my final fear that I've got, I'm going to activate my little ranger that I've put in the other tree, and I'm going to once again go for. I'm gonna once again go for Kari from the treetops.
It's because you think I'm a big target.
Yes. Does a 12 hit your evasion?
A 12 does hit. Rude.
Okay, awesome. All right. And that is 7 damage towards you.
Cool. So minor then. Awesome.
It was still a minor? God, what? Damn. All right, I need to start rolling better. And finishing his turn, you kind of hear in a croaky call towards his other compatriots. This one in the tree, the ranger in the tree, calls out to his friends in a language none of you can really understand, but it's clear that he's giving some martial advice to the other warfare advice to the other ambushes that are around. That was the end of my turn. How would you guys like to continue?
I would like to laugh at the first guy and then point to the guy in the tree who hit me and said, at least one of you has talent.
Yep. Do you want to make an
following your
intimidation? I'm kidding.
following X's laugh, I'm going to stare this dude in the face that's essentially just given me like a nick. Do like a small brush of this, and then I'm gonna look him dead in the face, look at his like unconscious person and say, "Want to play with us? Really? We come from the court and like use intimidation, and like I'm a royal mage, and just try and like get this guy to like back up and leave."
Okay. Give me a give me a charm roll with and spend. Are you going to spend the fear to use your experience?
Yes, I'm using gonna spend a hope to use my experience.
Yep. Okay. Go for it.
Okay, you got double 5.
Double. What? The hell is this? All right.
Rolling these doubles.
Plus my experience.
Matt's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
well-
everybody start sending me
Plus my
photos of your
presence.
dice. Cameras on dice only.
Okay. So yeah, you say that, you kind of like nudge the dead guy still on the floor and like push his head kind of with the other end of your stick, and he's looking directly at you and then looks down to his friend and then takes a lot more of a moment, and yeah, he's gonna how close are you to the cart?
It's like I wouldn't. Well,
Um,
depending, I would have gotten between the cart and the tree.
Yeah, definitely. No, that was a crit success. I'll pay that. Also, did you give yourself a hope? for that. He is going to, looking very worried. He's going to turn and bolt away back into the trees, and he quickly gets lost amongst the underbrush and other trees in that direction, but he is well out of the fight. Okay.
Can I follow that up with like a swing against the one that's next to me? Be like,
Sure.
yeah.
What you've just laughed at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
mockery.
So. Oh. Well, shit. So this is with fear. I've rolled a 9
9 total. Okay, well, I guess this time you come down with a wild swing well over your head to try and just cleave this guy in half, but he manages to duck and roll out of the way. He's a lot more nimble than you were expecting based on the fact that you were able to just annihilate the first guy. And it seems that you are now a little bit more favored. Okay, because you rolled so was that a fear? Sorry, failure with fear. Sorry.
Yes, failure with fear.
Okay, so I gain that fear, and it comes back to the GM turn. So,
Question. Because when we roll a failure, do we gain a stress as well?
no. It's just I gain a fear, most of the time. Obviously, it's just whether you roll a failure just affects the story. Whether you roll with fear or with hope, that will give you hope or fear. You stress is realistically only for abilities and things like that, or unless I might say that you too roll a stress as well. I might put it to you that trying to mock her opponent here, Kari, you might I think that you should take a stress as all of this bravado has come crumbling down as they also come as you also miss your attack. It gets on your nerve a little bit. There's a twinge, but you can nothing terrible affects you otherwise. But it is my turn. I am going to. I'm gonna spotlight my ranger again because he's doing so well. And yeah, he is going to take another big long bow attack at Kari once again. There is no way. God damn. 5 doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
Okay, well, it whizzes past you as you look back up and kind of smirk to yourself.
All need a little humility, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend my last fear to activate the other guy. So the last thistlefolk in front of you, and he's gonna lunge at you with another big dagger attack. And I'm going to roll better, I swear.
If you say so.
Nat 20. So yes, I think so. Okay, awesome. Watch me roll very poorly on my damage dice. Okay, so you are going to take 20 physical damage as he lunges up and tries to get you in the neck, and manages to do so.
Okay.
Actually, no, yeah, that there's 20 damage that is coming at you. do you want to use any armor or things like that?
Yeah, I might use one of my armor then.
Okay.
So that
cool,
means
cool,
I can
cool.
take it from severe down to major, right?
Yes. So you kind of like shrug to get it out of the way, but it carves down your arm, leaving quite a large gash and splitting a little bit of your leather armor. Is it leather armor? Let me just.
Mine is leather armor. It has what?
Chainmail armor. Okay. Yes. So it cuts deep into your chain mail. Okay. So back to you guys because I have no more fear to spend. There's still the ranger in the tree and one more thistlefolk in front of Kari.
So there's only that one in front of Kari left?
Yeah. And the ranger in the tree. In the other tree to you, Barnacle.
Other tree to me. Well,
You need a quick transport option.
oh God. If I jump down to you, you can like kind of throw me.
Yes, I
I
can.
mean,
yes, I
you
can.
are. I would say that you are like
Oh,
half the size of Marlowe, but it wouldn't necessarily be easy. But I will say that there's probably possibly a path across some of these trees that you can leap across as a ribbit, if you'd like to.
I would
I'm just
prefer
providing
that.
options,
Ruined it.
but if you really want to,
I do not. I do not. I would rather take the path across the trees. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So give
Boo.
me. I mean, I'm still gonna
Throw a
ask you
giant
to.
frog.
I'm still gonna ask you to roll an agility leap for me.
Do I just roll once, or do I
Uh,
roll the hope and the fear?
Roll hope and fear for me.
Okay, rolling.
We basically always roll the duality dice together,
Yes.
except for our single 6 damage die.
Yeah.
So fear 1, and I got 8, 9, 10, 13. But do I add agility as well? Then I got 14.
Okay.
Hope.
You do manage to do it, and you did it with hope. What the guys? Another success with hope. Yep. So you bounding across leaves, and the branches across them. You do make this big long. Actually, no. It's probably more that frog leap where you were on all fours and you spring up with those big, strong, hopping legs behind you, and you dive across. And land amongst the tree, amongst the branches, in the other tree. I would say you've still got a couple more meters before you're in full melee range with this other guy, but he's definitely seen you coming.
It's okay. And I want to attack him with my dagger.
Awesome, go ahead.
Okay. Let's hope I can crit like loss. I didn't,
Do it.
but I did win on hope, so I would take that. And I got 19 in total.
19.
Plus 1 physical damage, it says. Wait, no, that's for when I roll damage.
Yeah,
So it's 19.
Yep, you
plus,
definitely hit him. And because you rolled
plus
with
my
hope,
strength.
it should be based on your weapon. Should say on your weapon. So
And plus finesse, that means I got 21.
Hells yeah, awesome.
Cool.
So yes, you definitely hit him. Roll for damage.
Okay, I
As he
get
tries
1
to kind of like
d8.
beat you away with his longbow, but it doesn't really work because you can kind of just shove it out of the way and stab him. What was the damage? Sorry,
There's only 2.
2 is only 2 plus anything.
No, that was including the plus. I got 1 plus 1.
Oh shoot.
Okay, right. Damn, yep. So he Yeah. He doesn't have that much armor to him. He's pretty bare chested, apart from what is it? What is it when they have like the ammo across the chest? Oh, it just slipped my mind. Anyway, he has this. He has a quiver. That's what he has. In front of him, and apart from his bare chest, and you just kind of come in and get a little prick on his arm before he shoves your arm away. You deal a small damage to him. He's still up and available, but you're definitely in his way, and he will have disadvantage on his next attack if he tries to use his short bow for with an arrow.
Can I
Um,
race over to him?
yeah, because you guys had success. Yeah, go ahead.
Follow up that attack with "I've got your back" to give Barnacle some assistance.
Yep. So this guy is the guy that Barnacle is attacking is up in the tree. I would say it's probably relatively out of range for you, but unless you wanted to throw something or anything like that.
I don't really have anything to throw now that Barnacle is gone, and I can't throw the frog.
Throw the corpse.
I mean, we don't have.
Actually,
You guys don't have.
His friend's corpse at him.
I would like to throw his friend's corpse at him.
Okay, sure.
Intimidation. Not even an attack. Just intimidate with his friend's corpse.
That is, yeah.
I would like to actually try and attack him with his friend's corpse so that Marlo can use it as intimidation on the next round.
I mean, I don't know that Marlo could really use this, but I'm gonna say that if this is successful, it's gonna cause a stress for him. But I will admit this is probably a higher difficulty than the ranger's regular armor class or his regular difficulty. So go ahead, roll your
I'm gonna add "I've got your back."
Sure, you're spending a hope to do so. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, come on, dice. Come on, dice.
Please. Crit. Crit.
I got a 12 and a 4, so 16 with fear.
Okay,
plus 2
so
to make it 18 with fear.
Okay, I think that I need to adjust my own difficulty classes because you guys are absolutely smashing these. Yeah, you do. You whack him with the body of someone else. I'm gonna say this is a D8 plus 2 for damage.
D8. D8. So 4 plus 2, 6. 6 points of damage.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Sure. What? Yeah.
Is his friend's corpse stuck in the tree now?
Not really, because I'm gonna just describe this and tell me how you might want to change it. But I would assume that there's a guy that's kind of in front of you, and you're just snarling at him, and then you see Barnacle bounding across the treetops above you, and then you pick up this dead corpse in front that was on the ground, and by the leg just kind of twist and fling it back up to to Barnacle in the trees, and this body just kind of end over end flies up towards the tree, smacking into the branch below the two of you, but then clocking this ranger with the bow, and the initial damage was a lot, but the force at which you threw him definitely knocks him off balance as he also falls backwards down through the trees and plummets to his death away from Barnacle. That was
Question, is there a dude still on the ground in front of her? In front of Nix?
There is still someone in front of Nix, yes.
Alive?
Yes. But that was with
Right.
fear, so it has been given back to me. Okay. Uh,
Can I do one thing that isn't attacking anyone first?
I will. I have to say it is technically the GM turn.
Damn it, that's fair.
Now because I need to have some little effect into this. I'm gonna say that in this moment he is seeing his friend get flown, and then remembering what this guy's little the purpose was just to kind of steal any supplies that you guys might have. He's gonna rush over to the cart, kind of using you flinging the body as a distraction, and rush over to where the carriage is in front of well, behind Marlowe. Um, but so what type of cart had we established this was?
So it is like a flatbed cart, I imagine, with sides on it. I wasn't imagining there was a top on it. So, like from the driver's seat, there would be a back, but you would essentially be able to look over at the crate, and then there's a tailgate on the back. However, on top of the crate, there is a very large, very aggressive snake.
Yes, okay. And so as he I think that he climbs up on top of the cart and then hears the hissing behind him. Please go ahead and roll a presence. Roll that presence roll for your minor illusion. Um, but feel free to use any experiences you might have with that.
Okay. Um, with hope, I get a so then plus present. So that's a with hope a 20.
Okay, damn. Sure. Uh,
And
he.
also, this illusion is convincing to anyone at close range.
Yep, yeah. I'm gonna say that I mean, he's in very close range of it. Um, okay, but he is still pretty freaking frightened. Because this is technically a foreign beast to him. Because he, as a person of the Sablewood, would be used to animals that are hybrid in nature, but nothing like this. Um, okay, so I'm gonna say he marks a stress because of this. But he is going to try to wrangle the horses and pull your cart off the track towards splashing through the creek and towards the creek for now. But he is going to. No, he does not do a very good job. As he kind of whips down, the horses rear up and they go nowhere. He gets particularly frustrated. Uh, but it's back up to you guys. He's now on the cart, and you can see that he's not really concentrating on the fight at hand anymore. He's quite subdued by the snake right behind him.
Is he within throwing range?
What what are you planning to throw?
Dead friend?
Is there much left
I'm
of
gonna.
him? Of the dead friend?
Well,
I mean,
the dead friend
his
is at
body
my
is
feet.
he's still like intact, but there are some broken bones underneath that. I would I'll allow it 100%, but I will say this is probably disadvantage because you are not a giant with great strength. Um,
I'll throw him if you want.
Okay, I'll drag him over.
you kind of like you can get like a little bit, but you're not gonna like pull him completely off the ground. But you do kind of throw him in Kari's direction. What
Oh,
would
If
you like
he's
to do?
Oh,
well, I'm not gonna touch him, but I'm just gonna go and stand like kind of behind this dude. So if he turns around, I'm just standing there watching him, waiting for the corpse to get thrown at him.
Oh, okay. You're just like kind of like big chest, like just looking directly at him with a intimidating royal gaze. Sure. All right. Kari, are you up for throwing another corpse?
Yeah. Can I take? I've got your back literally now.
100%. Yeah.
I'm taking his spine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're right there, Lauren. This is sweet. Mom.
I'm dying a little bit.
So it's 14 on the dice, plus my strength, which is 2, and plus his back, which is another 2.
Yeah. That is a success. Sorry, what was that? Was that with fear or was that with a?
That was with hope.
God damn! Take your hope. You guys are supremely hopeful in this fight. That's for sure.
Cool.
And tell me how you fling this body.
I suspect that as he's fallen back out of the tree from the first guy that I threw him at, I've grabbed him by the tailbone this time. And he's kind of been a little bit more wiggly and loose as more things have started to break. So I've whipped him across, and his spine is doing like an S shape as it wiggles through the air, and he gets smacked first with the head, followed by like the wave form of the midsection, then his butt, and then the feet of his compatriot before it kind of like sloughs off him a little bit because it's bloodied and broken.
And then sorry, what was the damage on that?
So you said 1d8 for that one?
Yeah. 1d8 plus 2, I want to say.
For a corpse? Cool, that's
is what we said for corpses.
9 points of corpse damage.
9 points of corpse damage. That does a significant damage to him, but he's still up. He kind of tumbles backwards, like kind of. I feel like the cart is not at a perpendicular or straight on, but kind of at an angle to where this is coming from, and so he gets like pushed over one side, but out of the cart entirely. So he is behind the cart now, and stumbling to get back up off his feet. But he's still right there for Marlo to give a sucker punch or Barnacle if you guys are ready with something.
Yep, 100%. If he's just fallen out of the cart in front of my feet where I've been waiting for him, I'm just gonna straight up hit him in the head with my staff, not magically. Just, I'll be like, haha, whack.
Yeah, 100%. That kind of like yeah, the whip like kind of like teacher-esque like mean teacher whip across the head kind of vibe. I like it. Yeah. Roll me an attack roll, please.
Okay. With fear, I have gotten. Do I add anything to that, or is it just straight?
Do go. Give it your strength. It or not. Just a straight roll, thanks. I think.
I got a 14.
Yep, that does.
With fear.
He is battered and he's bruised. He is not moving as quickly as he was before. Yeah, that definitely hits him. Roll for some damage. I think it was 1d6 plus 1, I think I said before.
Then 5
Okay.
points of damage.
That is enough to finish him off. There wasn't much much fight left in him, but he's clocked out of this one, and you guys have defeated all of the enemies around you. Barnacle, from your perspective up in the trees, you don't see any more animals that will come at you, nor any more of these thistle folk guys. But there still lies the cart from this dead merchant on the floor, kind of some of the goods splattered about. If you would like to investigate, or you can push it out of the way and move along with your task.
I think I should be the one to do the investigation, just based on my size and everything.
Sure thing. Where do you want to go?
Go for it.
With that, I'm immediately going to start pushing the cart out of the way.
Okay. Yep. In very, very, very good investigation. Would anyone else like to look or do anything just before you move back on your way and off towards the
Oh.
village of Hush?
Do they have any magical items on them? Board?
No, it seems like it's all very rudimentary and like basic, primitive. Sorry.
Any gold?
Yeah, you do find a handful of gold. But no, actually, probably about like 2 handfuls of gold. They've clearly taken this off of the merchant. Not that long before you guys had arrived.
I'll offer it to Barnacle and Nix.
I take some, and I also like want to look through the cart and just see if there's anything that stands out to me.
The cart has been stripped of all valuables, and there's just the driver with a mangled arm picked over by the Strixwolf.
Is he alive? Or is any of his arms just mangled?
If you're looking further, you do like kind of lift up the head, and you see that it was quite cleanly cut around by his neck. Yeah. That was all for this encounter, and as Kari kind of pushes the cart back further down, and it kind of rolls slightly down the hill and crashes into another tree. The path is clear, and you guys can journey on back to Hush if you would like.
Sounds good.
But I might end the session there if that's late enough for everyone else.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing Daggerheart with me, guys. How did you feel about that?
10 out of 10.
How about this new system?
I don't think you guys are getting
Really
my
good.
dry humor yet, but one day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't get a dead body thrown at them because that was super successful. Why would you
That was
want to use your
amazing.
great axe anyway?
Does more
Funny.
damage, I guess.
I have nothing to throw. Have a body.
Yeah. There were so many other ways that could have gone, and I was like, I'm gonna make it so crazy because it's gonna have elevation. That was something new that I tried to add in for this fight compared to the last time we did this. And I also added that whole other guy, and you guys absolutely bodied that encounter immediately.
I think we got really lucky with our rolls. Like we
Oh yeah.
we did fine because of that changed the game when we killed a few people straight out, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Not only did we roll well, we kept rolling with hope, which I feel like limited you on your amount of moves as well.
I mean, I really tried to come out of the gates with a big when I did get my turn, and I was like, all right, you guys are rolling too well. I need to jump in here, and then I spent as much fear as I could to try and even up this battle a little bit more. But damn, you guys just kept critting and critting and critting. Yeah. How I want to ask Isabel, how did you find it compared to the last time?
So I think last time we were a little bit more free flow with the kind of role play aspect. But this time we were much better with the mechanics of the game. So getting a grasp on when and how and what the skills were to use. So I think, lessons learned in both aspects.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, this story does continue after this, so hopefully
Next
everyone's
week!
going to be excited to play this again next week.
I'm so keen.
Awesome. Um, I'm continuously looking at my notes here and at my screen, but I don't think there's anything more that they're gonna tell me. Thank you guys for watching. Is there anything more that you guys want to say?
Yeah.
Pluggables, perhaps?
We are Roll for Dopamine. You can find us on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram, all with that handle. One of our regular members who's not here today has a podcast, the Finally Press Record podcast, wherever you find your podcasts. And yeah, I hope you had a great time and enjoyed this immensely, because we did. And
Yes.
love to see
I
you in
am
chat.
enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting, Matt.
No worries.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.